So I am here with David Thompson from Assembledge. He's an incredible architect, and we are going to walk through his house and he's going to answer all my dumbass questions. Let's go. So first question, you designed the house. Did you also do the landscaping?
We did the landscape in collaboration with Michael Fiore from Fiore Landscape, who's a good friend of mine. And
amazing.
Yeah, it was a wonderful collaboration.
I love how the whole house really is so complementary to the landscaping. Another classic California indoor-outdoor.
Quintessential Southern California.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to walk through into the main room.
Yeah, one thing you'll notice here in the entry that we like is that the scale of the entry is brought down to sort of a human scale. So you're not coming into a really grand space. You start at a real human scale and then move into other spaces where ceiling height starts to change and things like that. So you're you're starting at a real human scale, which we like.
I love it. And you've got this beautiful built-in
marble sculpture.
And I love the art, the way
there is a little fun detail here. This is for like keys, things like that.
Well, there you go. Look at that.
Fun stuff.
So you walk into the living room. To the left, you have this beautiful dining room with these incredible floor-to-ceiling doors. Who makes those doors?
These are Arcadia.
Arcadia.
Similar to like a Fleetwood.
Right. And then you've got two beautiful olive trees. And then that's actually your garage that you've covered the whole house with this beautiful wood.
Yeah, it's a Western red cedar. And the way the partie is set up is it's 3 pavilions. There's the guest pavilion, the living pavilion, and then the sleeping pavilion. And they're all connected. The 3 pavilions are connected by these glass bridges. And those set up a datum. And the sort of volumes are this charcoal painted cement board. And then at that datum line is the glass, and the wood is what kind of carves it out. And so everywhere that you see that kind of line, that's consistent around the entire building.
Wow. So we're going to go into your living room, which is sunken. Yeah. Now, did you do that because it was sloped or what?
Yeah, the property, for all intensive purposes, is flat, but there is a slight grade from front of the property to the rear. So part of it was to transition a little bit of that grade, but it's also a way in which to make spaces kind of have some definition between rooms. So, it separates the dining room and the living room a little bit. You'll see it in the family room as well. So it's a way to transition space, but also delineate it as well.
You've got great use of black. Now, is this just a panel, or are these?
Those are not any cabinetry. There's future design for that. We, at some point we had to kind of stop ourselves a little bit, but we have a design for fireplace and other things like that.
That's cool. But You've got these windows that open all the way out to your stunning backyard. Wow. I love this. Obviously, you designed that.
Yep.
Made it yourself out of concrete?
Yep. And that was in all of this backyard was in collaboration with Michael Fiore. But what you can see here is the transparency. So like everywhere that we are, this is not a property about a view. It's about an internalization, right? So we have all this incredible landscape that's in the perimeter of the property itself.
Yeah.
And so we're taking advantage of that. And so there's all these places where there's transparencies through the building. So you're always kind of seeing the courtyard, you're seeing through all these kind of vantage points and things like that to kind of pull the landscape in and really kind of blur the line between inside and outside.
I love it. Now, what was the idea behind the pebbles in between?
Some of these there's drains in them so that we have a way to kind of like, drain. You can see there's one around the fireplace. So we utilize them in ways to kind of help put drains in, to be able to keep them so that we don't have surface looking drains that you see on the deck instead.
Love it. See, look at that. How stunning is that? I love it. Okay, let's go over. So you've got a nice little area where you could have a cocktail.
Yeah, so by blurring the lines between indoor and outdoor, what we do too is we're constantly trying to push ourselves to the perimeters of the property. So we're always trying to stretch your life out to every ounce of the property. So what we do is by doing this and blurring the line, we're creating these outdoor rooms and these outdoor spaces that connect with all the interior spaces. So they become private little spaces too when the doors are closed, but they can also become this sort of continuity of the interior space and really blurring the line again between indoor and outdoor.
Love it. So you've got your kitchen with a really nice breakfast area. And then this is just really feels very homey.
There's their third olive tree.
Wow.
So we have 3 of them that kind of flank the courtyard there. But the kitchen is this is our public space, the family space, right? We spend a lot of time in the kitchen, obviously. We eat in the breakfast room all the time. In the family room, again, you can see the transition where we're going down. Gives a little bit of privacy. The room's kind of an open floor plan, but it's still got some privacy and some layers to the experience as a result of that. And all the doors, again, opening up. That 100-year-old oak tree gets to become part of your family room experience. So again, this is really where we spend a lot of our time here together.
Yeah, you kept the wall there so you'd have a TV room, family room, and you can actually see it while you're cooking.
Yeah, I mean, so there could be, again, that layering of experience. Somebody can be down here kind of private, watching TV or whatever. And then there can be a kind of layered experience. Somebody can be back there, part of that, but part of the kitchen experience. And we can kind of all be together, even doing different things.
And I love how this all opens and you really have no corner here.
Yeah.
And you've got plenty of room. You told me you have 2 dogs.
We do.
Plenty of room for dogs.
Dogs love it. They love it.
And I love how you've done this as well.
Yeah, the grasses are really one of my favorites. It's just
stunning.
It just gives us kind of ephemeral quality to the landscape too, and soft and really kind of spills in. And in some ways, it's really easy to maintain. It's all pretty low water.
Yes.
That's it.
All right, let's look at this area you have off the kitchen, which I just think is so stunning. So you talked about these glass corridors that you have. Really gorgeous.
Yeah, so this is one of the bridges, like we were in the entry, same kind of thing. It's a connector space between each of the pavilions. So the house was a remodel. I mean, for all intents and purposes, all new. We pretty much took the whole thing to the ground, but there was a house here and the courtyard was here and some of those things that we've kind of leaned into in our design. But one of the things was the guest house was completely separate. So one of the things that was really important for us is that when you come in the garage, the kitchen really wants to be over here. When the original house, it was over there, really making it a part here. So this becomes our entry. So the garage is here, the laundry room is here, and then we kind of dump into the kitchen when we enter. And that was when they came in the front, that's more of the formal entry.
I want to show your mudroom or your version of a mudroom because I love color. And you don't have a lot of space for a mudroom, but the reality is you've picked this incredible yellow and you've made this area where you can put your shoes on, probably put your shoes there, get your hats, your dog. It's just stunning.
Pop of sunshine there.
Yeah, I love it.
One fun thing about this area here, this is, we're in Studio City here in the foothills of Fryman Canyon. And there used to be a creek that ran right through the property, and you can see remnants of it over on off Sunshine Terrace there. And this was really our homage to the creek. I mean, it was vacated, and over time, as development has changed, all the waterways changed a bit. But this was our homage to it, the sort of dry riverbed, the olive trees, and the bridge. And as I showed you in that photograph, which we can point out, that's an aerial photograph of Studio City from 1926. Which is really kind of fun. And you can see our property is kind of like right up in there. And so you can kind of see a series of creeks.
All right, so let's go to the sleeping area. I do have to show this because I think this is such a great thing in a kitchen. Like all the really good architects do this. They have a pantry off the kitchen. So you can put all your stuff, but you're not cluttering up your kitchen, but you still have a lot of closet space. That's super important. And look at these. What are these, light fixtures?
They're art pieces, and it's an artist we found out of Minneapolis. We found him at the New Orleans Jazz Festival. And they're just steel balls, and then they're gold leafed on the inside. And then there's just a magnet on the wall, and they...
I need. Okay, let's look.
Great artist, amazing.
Let's look at the powder room. Okay. I'm in love with this powder room. You've got this brown aubergine color, and then you have these beautiful, but this is chevron, isn't it?
Yep.
Chevron, and then this stunning light. The light goes into a frosted piece of glass. Amazing. Love the art too.
So one thing I'll show you here, which is kind of talked about before, was like these kind of transparencies through the house. So this is an area where as you come in the front of the house, You get a long axial view all the way through to the backyard. We have landscape on both sides. So as we kind of move and transition through this space, you really feel like you're part of the landscape. And then even taking the material through so that you really kind of are blurring that line of inside and outside.
You really thought about this, didn't you, David?
Thought a lot about it. Maybe too much.
How long did it take you to design?
Well, we lived in the house for a couple of years while it was sort of falling apart around us.
Yeah.
Which was kind of fun.
What
and then
style was it?
It was kind of a ranch style, nothing really, fairly nondescript. And there were a couple things like, the entry was in the same place, the garage was in the same place and all that. So we didn't change some of those big moves. But, we tore the whole thing down and it's brand new. And we opened up, the property is a rectangle, but it's wider in the back than it is in the front. So one of the property lines kind of skews out. So the property just kind of keeps opening itself up to us. So that was it was a fun place to live while we were kind of figuring out what to do. And then it took us about 2 years to build.
I was going to say, so probably 3 years and all. That's the sort of, that's the number of designing and building.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to go up a little bit. We're going to go down to the primary.
So one thing was fun to see in this hallway here is the use of these clear stories. So this is the bed we're now in the sleeping pavilion. So this is where all the bedrooms are. We've got 3 bedrooms and bathrooms down here. We have a small home office here. But you can see here, there's like a low clear story that kind of brings the landscape in. And then you can see the light from the high clear story there on the wall. That's, bringing light into the hallway back to those bedrooms, but keeping it private from the foyer.
It's so well thought out. Every single part looks like an art piece. The light on that wall looks like a piece of art. But again, have some very good storage. This is the bathroom and the closet. You've got 2 closets. And then I love how you've done this. Really cool. And love this. Really good.
Skylight, which dunks light down into it. No visible drains, details like that.
Stunning. It's such a good house, David.
Thank you.
Good house. And you actually did another house that I had as a rental at one stage, and I'm recognizing it, Vanessa Alexander.
Oh yeah, Wonderland on Wonderland, yeah.
So this to me is absolutely stunning. So it opens all out, and then you're looking at the masterpiece of your garden.
Yeah, this is a lifestyle of kind of Southern California living and being inside and outside, and we really have embraced it and love it. We open the house up all the time. We sleep with the windows open.
Wow.
And we really just, take advantage of that.
Incredible. Well, this man is available if you want to design and have a great architect. He can do it.
Yes.
Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you. Thank you for including us.
All right.
Yeah.
And if you want more of these incredible walkthroughs with amazing architects like David, click and subscribe here.